There we go. Great. So again, this is my name is Harry Berberian with 313 Believe, and we promote Detroit business. And again, we have a fantastic guest. I've been wanting to book this guest for the longest time. Shawn Randazzo of Detroit Style Pizza Company. So thank you again for coming on 313 Believe, because we like to promote all Detroit business. So, people, you're Detroit Style Pizza, but you're located on the east side. So a lot of people probably ask you, hey, you're Detroit Style Pizza, but you're not in Detroit. But you really rep the city like no other. Tell me about that.
Sure. So, really, it doesn't matter what people say. I mean, I know where my heart is, where my purpose, where my passion is. So, I don't let that shake me. But I've had, in the past, maybe just a few people kind of reach out via email or something and call us out saying, hey, how can you call your company Detroit Style Pizza Company? You don't have a place in Detroit. For me, I've learned early on as a young kid moving from school to school and high school and learning the ropes and being in every different social crowd there is, that, things happen and you go straight to the source. So with that, and I try to keep it top of mind all the time, I just gave this guy a call and let him tell me what he thought, and told him basically, look, I just wanted to reach out and let you know, man, I'm just as passionate about Detroit as the next person and you. And, we've tried for 2 years almost, trying to find a place. I've been very specific with where I wanted to be on Woodward, close to Campus Martius. So there was
Woodward, where the first paved road of America. You're going to get there. I know you will.
And yes, and with that said, if I had the right partner, and right resources, I'd do it tomorrow. I just, I have a very big vision for this style, and it all narrows down back to bringing positive light to Detroit. And with that, there's all kinds of opportunities. I have people, from Vegas wanting to bring the concept there. I'm waiting for a guy like that from Detroit, whatever, to see that, hey, there's a big void in the city for, this style of pizza authentically. And I know Buddy's just recently opened one, but, hey, I want to make sure that, like I said earlier, part of our mission is, or our mission statement is creating memories and opportunities. If I was to open up something in Detroit, or sure, we can find, maybe for our warehouse and stuff, but, there's a lot of variables to think of. I wanted to have a retail joint, by the sports stadiums, blah, blah, blah. So if anyone's out there listening and maybe wants to have a conversation, reach out. But right. The whole idea was to put a positive light on Detroit when I realized what we had was so special to our city and how unique it was to our city. And those people that do reach out, and say that, why don't you have a location? Eventually we will. Like, you said, Harry, I'm sure we will. But right now we're doing what we can do to pave the way for this vision and bring the attention to a positive light. I'm sure many people in the city of Detroit have, and I don't want credit for it, but have benefited from it. Even the people that come train with me sometimes, I usually recommend them stay at one of the, casino hotels or something downtown, or they want to because they're coming to Detroit for the first time. So, right. Whatever, and they're Michigan and Trumbull, they're down there. We supply their pans. I mean, there's people we deal with a lot down there. We get our produce from Eastern Market for our pizzeria. We always try to look to support Detroit whenever possible.
Right. That's terrific. So, I mean, you're putting Detroit and Detroit style pizza on the map. You're the main, I mean, to me, like, now when I think Detroit style pizza, I think of you, I don't, it used to be other other companies, pizza companies, like going, oh, what the hell is this guy doing? He's the guy now. What do we do? Do we partner with this guy? Are we intimidated with this guy? Or is he our friend? Like these other guys that make Detroit style pizza? Or how do you view your competition, and because you're a harmonious guy, I can tell, like, you're just trying to get out the message of Detroit style pizza. How do you deal with your competition and other people that are making Detroit style pizza?
Awesome question. And for me, it goes like two different ways. The one I'll take right now is like, I don't feel I have competition. I am in a league of my own. I'm in an industry with camaraderie that is just, mind blowing when it comes to support and love. When you look at the core, I've been invited to join in 2016, I think it was, the World Pizza Champion team that Tony Gimignani and some other founders have created. I think there's like 37 or something of team members now. But, those people, they all have pizzerias all over the country. But at any given moment, I can reach out to anyone and get solid sound advice, and vice versa. And even locally, locally we supply, like I said, we've sold pans in Michigan and Trumbull. I have another concept in Royal Oak with my cousin, Palazzo de Pizza. We've licensed a deal for that brand, in Lake Orion to 313 Pizza Bar, all those places, those places get our dough mixes. Our pizzeria uses our dough mix, commercial dough mixes. So I guess, back to what you're saying about the competition, harmonious, whatever you want to call it, I don't feel I have competition. I mean, do what you do, I do what I do. I stay in my lane. I create, my paths. Right now, it's so crazy in this industry or anywhere that you can take so many different routes. I mean, for me, I started with a pizzeria, and I'm building an empire distribution manufacturing business that started just with a pizzeria. And I could have went, 20 different routes. I could have been in stores by now with our frozen pizza. I started that route. When I looked at it 5 years ago, it seemed like a liability, and dry mixes seemed the route to go. But yeah, so competition. And then back to when you said, like, you got these original, or you think you said the originals, I've had opportunities to, I've had some, I'm not going to mention names, but, the owner of one of those 4 originals, not me only being involved with, Cloverleaf for 16 years prior to us launching Detroit Style Pizza Company. It wasn't Cloverleaf, but one of the other 3, owners reached out. We've been talking for 2 years now on partnering up, and, basically partnering up with him and, helping grow their brand and go head to head with some of the other originals. They like our product very much, our dough mix. They want my training for the license deals. Recently, and just because of, elephant in the room here, this thing attached to my head and what I have going on in my health life and my personal life, and really put a lot of things in perspective for me. And I had to pull back and just say, you know what, I have to focus on my brand moving forward. And if what you're looking for me is what I'm bringing to the table in this partnership, we can still do business. But, I am done right now trying to, save, I don't want to say save companies, because that would be disrespect in regards to this company. But many years ago, I had Tubby's as well, wanted to join forces when the other sub companies started popping up, because, I was fresh. Detroit Style Pizza had legs going, and they're like, man, this guy just won World Pizza. Let's get this. And, that would have been a nightmare, because I would have been working for them forever, basically my ass off. Not to be rude, but, it got to the point in negotiations where I just said, look, we're not taking this measly amount of percentage of this new company that I'm going to be going to every store, working every single day, training people, whatever. We need something for what we've built right now, or 50-50, or we can do something and work it out. If not, I'm out. But, so we've had, it's interesting, I guess, to throw out there, we've created a lot of attention over the years.
Right. So, I mean, like I said, you're putting Detroit Style Pizza on the map, like no other to me. Like, I mean, it's a battlefield out there, but you're bringing it to the world, and you're the one that, you're like the Henry Ford to me of automobiles. You didn't invent the automobile, but you're going to automate maybe Detroit Style Pizza, and you're going to make it work for the world and get it out there. Addressing the elephant in the room, I know through my friend, Cindy, and you are dealing with cancer. So you're a fighter. You deal with adversity, and it seems like you just fight it head on. Has fighting your health issue, health challenge, has that made you probably even more determined to get the Detroit Style Pizza brand out there? And what's going on with that?
Sure. It definitely has put a lot in perspective, not only business-wise, but personal-wise. I mean, it really makes you understand that, tomorrow you could get hit by a car and not be here. I mean, I'm just grateful to be here, be alive. I mean, everything that I went through from the beginning of the year and a little bit before, I mean, there's many times where, there's a chance I couldn't have been here. So for that, I'm always grateful for, and always want to try to keep myself in check of that, because, let's just say, I am going to pass this. I'm going to fight it. We're good. A year, 3 years go by, and then I start falling complacent to the thoughts of what actually happened over the last 6 months. And I don't want that ever to happen. I always and that's why I'm a firm believer in always staying plugged in, whether it's a podcast, whether it's church for people. You got to constantly plug into stuff. For me, it's the stuff that they don't teach in school, universal laws and things that are so powerful that we can't understand. That's what, really I'm interested. But anyways, yeah, so I kind of going off track here again. Bring me back on the track.
It's okay. So I mean, it's made you a fighter. It makes you appreciate, every day. Listen, we all can. I mean, with this COVID and all, I mean, everything you've dealt with everything from COVID to cancer to competition, the 3 C's. So like, I mean, but at the same time, it seems like you're you're always pulling ahead. My friend Cindy, you know, Cindy's always said, you know, how hard you work. I mean, really, you're working 24/7, and you're you know, just like you recognized in 2009 when Detroit wasn't really the most popular place in the world. It was still going through major struggle. We were having economic, you know, downturn, and like people were probably, you know, rooting for our demise or whatever. But then, you know, you were one of the people, the voice in the wilderness that were telling people, hey, you know, this is Detroit style pizza, and I'm going to make this a major brand, and we're going to bring positive attention to Detroit. And that's what, you know, 313 Believe is all about. And that's what, you know, what's bringing back the city. And I want you to have a Detroit style pizza on Woodward in Detroit. I mean,
Nice.
it would be, so basically, just to recap, Detroit style pizza, the attributes are caramelized cheese, right? Caramelized cheese. And then the sauce on the top, pepperonis inside.
It's some places put it on top now, so we don't put it in that authentic category of those five, but yes, authentic, traditionally, yes.
Right. And then, and it's the dough. Describe to me the dough and what makes it different than other pizzas.
Sure. Well, you know, the process of it and the hydration level, like I mentioned before, you know, it's 70%,
which means water.
So, you know, people talk baker's percentages in the culinary world. And so if you're doing a recipe with flour for pizza, let's say, or dough, and you want to use 70% water in the recipe, all the weights goes by the base of the flour weight. So if it would be 100 pounds of flour and 70 pounds of water would be, you know, the 70%. Normally pizzas that you get at the store are around 50, maybe 60% hydrated. Difference is super dense, you know, not as light and airy, but not only the water content, you know, it also makes it crispy, but the proofing process of the dough and managing that so that it, you know, ferments and rises and gets to the point where it needs to go. So it has that really, you know, nice light structure inside is super important. And so many variables take place in that. That's why, you know, people might think it's pizza, might make a good pizza at home, but you get into a commercial environment and trying to control the proofing process or all the humidity, the temperature. I mean, a little bit of change of anything changes everything. So, you know, there is a lot to it.
Are you arguing that like Detroit style pizza, like because of the dough, like being more hydrated, like that it's like lower calories, or that it's not as heavy as Chicago style? It's like the better Chicago style?
Well, I will say this. I can't say for every place, but I know for us, we don't use any oil in our recipe. And, you know, using that much water in a recipe also, it does a lot of breaking down of the very, you know, of the ingredients and stuff. So our body doesn't have to do as much digesting as well. But health-wise, yes, our pizza, like compared, even when you see ours in the grocery stores coming out in a few months or something, look at the calories and compare it, because you'll be blown away. A lot of these places use very not hydrated dough, and they try to use, you know, a lot of oil to like deep fry the crust to get that crunch. But you know, I worked at Jets for a couple of weeks way in the past too, and you know, from what I remember and working with some Jets franchisees, you know, they got like a crap load of oil in the bottom of the pan before they put the dough in. And, you know, I think it's all a part because they use conveyor ovens and they just try to get a nice golden crisp. But, you know, whatever the case is, yes, our pizza is a lot healthier than a lot of others.
I mean, that's amazing, because I mean, you're putting the quality, you're the standard bearer now of Detroit style pizza. All the spotlight is on you. And, you know, and healthier pizza. I mean, I think that's what America needs. I mean,
Sure.
And I heard like during coronavirus, the COVID, people have been eating pizza nonstop. Like your sales, how has it affected you, the whole thing?
Yeah. Out the gate, it kind of affected us negatively. Like we were looking for ways to, you know, we shut down Monday and, you know, we're cutting hours, but really like, it just was crazy, because probably a week before we got that review, we started things kind of picking back up. I think people were getting a little more comfortable with the fact they could go and get something. And then the next week, like, you know, we had that review and it just blew things out of the water. Now we're back in a place where, you know, it's 2.5 months after that review, you know, we're sitting kind of stable, you know, at an area that retracted maybe, you know, a little, but we were able to meet the challenge, which was a very big one. I mean, we had to hire 10 people pretty much overnight, and we couldn't do so. It took us a few weeks to get the amount of people we needed in there. And people not waiting for 2 hours, but we arrived, and now we're looking at, picking up where we left off and bringing our partner on board. We had this year plan by the end of the year to get, have these goals to be where we needed to be, bringing them on and stuff. And, we're there now, and very grateful for that. Can't be more blessed. And, really happy about that moving forward, because it's a real win-win situation for the both of us. It solves us not having leadership and running the pizzeria and protecting our brand and our quality and all of that over there. And it gives him a vehicle to achieve his dreams, which I'm all about, is creating memories and opportunities, like I said. So
creating Detroit style pizza, creating memories and opportunities. That's amazing. And I remember, like I said, Detroit style pizza has been everywhere from Kuwait to, you said, even Italy.
South Korea,
I mean,
China,
South Korea, China. And I remember, I worked at the Electric Forest. Out in the Electric Forest for the Rothenberg, Michigan. What's that?
Sure,
that was
one of those. I've done that 6-7 years. I'm sure I'm lucky to survive those every year.
I mean, crazy. I mean, you're very popular, and so yeah. Do you have a mission as to when maybe you may want to be like on Woodward, like in Detroit? Like, I mean, it's not really up to you fully, but I mean, do you have a vision for that too?
Right now, I'm not going to lie. I don't have a vision for it, but I do have this to say. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, I'm not looking for opportunity right now. I'm trying to deal with the opportunity I got and kind of find focus.
Right.
But like I said, I just had a conversation with this guy in Vegas. He's really wanting to get our brand out there. And, my whole thing with him is like, I'm not doing anything like that unless I'm 100% confident in the leadership there. And I'd want a partner. I can't be out there and stuff. And of course, if it's local, I mean, I'll go out there and train. But, if someone's out there and wants to take advantage of this awesome whirlwind of media, I mean, we're a worldwide known brand. And I know there are people out there, and I'm very surprised actually, because we get reached out by a lot of different opportunities all over the country. And we're here in Detroit. And I don't know if maybe it's because we haven't located in Detroit yet. So people look at that and are like, whatever. But, I look at this as an opportunity, just like, it is for Joe. And he wants to do a place in Ypsi at one point once we get, things set up and on autopilot there. But Detroit, that's where, I think a huge opportunity is. And, back when I was looking, it was probably a little premature because the city still hasn't come on its, upcome it has over the last several years. But,
right.
And that's why I was looking. I wanted to, I figured it's the best time to look for property and stuff like that. But putting it out there, if anyone does want to have a conversation, my contact info will be out there, I'm sure, and reach out. Would love to talk.
I mean, Quicken Loans didn't start in Detroit; it started in the suburbs, and now it's synonymous with Detroit. So, I mean,
sure.
Rocket Mortgage now. So, so people also can find you on your website. What's your website again?
Our pizzeria website is DetroitStylePizza.co. And then our retail hotel website is DetroitStylePizza.com. And that's where our mixes, our pans, our pizza kits, our training services, and all that are at. And we're actually in the next few weeks going to be launching a new website there. We're going to be offering residential and commercial classes locally, which are going to be a lot more affordable than our 3-day training program and stuff like that. I'm excited about. And real quick, back to the adversity thing that you were talking about a little ago, because it just keeps on coming top of mind. It's like, I credit probably just the way, I was brought up. I was brought up in a situation in Detroit where, whatever the fact, I was a very small minority. I think there was 3 white kids in the school. So at 2nd grade, at recess, I had to join a gang even just so I wasn't getting jumped, and couldn't bring pencils to school. People were stealing scissors from the art room and holding them in girls' necks, and it was a regular thing, So they got me out of there in 3rd grade, but I went probably to 20 different schools in my life, like I mentioned earlier. So when it comes to adversity, like, the first several times you don't learn much, but then you start learning. And I was in, honestly, every different social group. So I learned so much, and I had so many challenges. The thing going to a new school I would always face is whether it was an Albanian or whatever nationality or American, it don't matter. But whoever the coolest kid thought he was a hotshot would test me. And if I bowed down to that or didn't stand up for myself, I'd fall in a certain category, and that would be my route there if I stood up to him. I mean, it's just crazy to see the different dynamics and all that. But lots of adversity I have been faced with throughout my life. And I feel that's helped me with business, because that's all it is as adversity all the time. It's bit problem solving, fixing problems. You know, that's, if someone asks what I do, that's what I do. I fix problems. I make things better, you know?
Big problem. And did you feel that standing up to your opponents was the thing to do to set the level of respect? And is that what you feel like you're doing in the Detroit style pizza community? Or
Like when you're talking about elementary and having to pretty much have a gang of people protect me from others or something.
yeah,
I feel I have built a very strong relationship with many people in the community, in the pizza industry, and formed an army. And this is kind of my thoughts in the beginning, was to create like an army of people that knew how to do this right. And those people, you know, even the people I've trained, you know, the very first ones 6-7 years ago or whatever, I still, you know, get email. I still keep in communication with. Not all of them. I mean, some I don't hear from, but you know, yeah, they're my authentic Detroit style pizza gang, and it's not just me. You know, I'm not the one to take credit for this. I may have started the ball rolling, but I give a lot of credit to them. Chris Sketchel in Toronto, he put it out there. You know, I don't know, several years ago, and selling out still today. You know, on his second location, via 313. You know, great buddies of mine that, you know, I've done a lot of talking with in the beginning and everything, and we're great friends. I mean, they got a mini empire down in Austin, Texas. You know, and I can go on one after the other. And, you know, it's just great. It's great for me. And, you know, going to, you know, also my website and this and that, we also have a YouTube channel, the Detroit Style Pizza channel. It's dspc.tv. You can go to the website, or you can just go to
we're
YouTube.
going to subscribe.
Yeah, definitely subscribe. But, you know, you'll see on there some of the, you'll see, I'm going to upload a Kuwait video soon, but you'll see Blue Pan in Colorado. I'd like to go visit them and kind of highlight them. And, you know, then we have recipes. You know, if anyone's there at home wanting to get a good start for a Detroit style pizza recipe at home, you know, we got a video for sauce, dough. But yeah, it's dspc.tv.
I love it. And so, I mean, I like what you said about your training really an army of people and companies that know how to produce Detroit style pizza. So you are really, like, to me, I keep saying the Henry Ford of pizza, of Detroit style pizza, because you're putting it on the map, and I like it that you're generous enough and not, you know, scared to share the secrets of Detroit style pizza. Like a lot of people that have an idea, it's like they don't want to share it, but you want to share it and teach people, and you don't have any fear, and you're relentless, and you're moving forward like almost like a tank, you know, going down the road, and you're fighting for, you're going to put Detroit style pizza, you know, on the map, and you already have. So, I mean, but not just in Michigan, but in the whole world, which is amazing.
Awesome.
And, Shawn, you've been great. Shawn Randazzo of Detroit style pizza, and this has been a very fascinating interview. Is there anything else you want to add or anything like that out there to your people and fans?
Just thanks for having me on. If you ever want to again, you know, I could gone off any path, and
Sure.
you know, that's kind of what I feel like my purpose is too. Eventually, you know, I feel through my mentors, through my experiences, through everything, through my, you know, I feel I have a lot to give to people. So I'm not going to go into my ultimate goal down the road, but I feel that I have a lot to give. So
Wait. How about your ultimate goal? No.
Real quick, I mean, it's just going to be a movie that is going to inspire. It's just going to jerk people every 5-10 minutes with, you know, it's not about me being in the movie, but about my life and experiences, and every, you know, 6 months to a year, what point of pretty much the adversity I went through and what came out of it. So, you know, my goal would be 100 people in seats, 10 people leave, and somehow I impacted their life in a positive way, whether it saved their life because they were convinced to wear this damn, you know, Optune cap, or
Right.
whether it was because something I went through while I was dealing with things in Detroit, or whether this or that or that. And, you know, people will cry, they'll laugh, they'll have pain. I want to jerk every emotion, and I know I have the story to do it, and I know that people believe, and I'll change. You know, if I can save one life out of that 100, great. If I can impact 10, because my satisfaction is when I have an employee, anyone that comes back to me 2, 3, 4, 5 years later after, you know, us partying and saying, hey, because of you or your company or working for you or this or that, I want to be where I am, or I want to be the person. You know, I've learned a lot through the School of Hard Knocks, and I've paid a lot of money to learn a lot as well. And I feel that the impact that stuff's done for my life and everything, I can only share that because I wish that's what they did in schools. Is
That's
teach our kids
awesome.
stuff like that.
So Detroit style pizza is a lot more than just making pizza. I mean, give me the slogan again, making memories. And
So our mission is basically to increase awareness of authentic Detroit style pizza by serving an authentic version, showing people, or teaching people its history, how to make an authentic version, and creating memories and opportunities. I mean, the first part's just to get the style on the map and get the word out there. Second part's always been part of our business mission, and that's just personal, and that's creating opportunities for people and memories. Because
awesome. Awesome. Shawn, you've been great. We're going to be posting this also on YouTube. Everyone check out this amazing episode of 313 Believe, Detroit Style Pizza with Shawn Randazzo. Thank you again so much for coming, and awesome. We'll talk soon. All right, bye.
Bye.